Welcome back everybody to another All Things Nerd video. Today we are back in the Mist of Pandaria expansion where we are going to go take a look outside the map of the raid, the Throne of Thunder. And I'm very excited to be back. This is the second video of 2026. I'm excited to see what 2026 has in store. It's going to be a lot of fun this year. Hopefully with the Midnight expansion coming out, we're going to be able to explore a lot of new stuff. Hopefully Blizzard has a lot of hidden secrets we can go explore. We'll see how much trouble we can get in. And then, yeah, it's going to be a great year, but I'm excited to be in the raid here. Now, I have already broken out of the raid and I am standing on the giant, I don't know, dinosaur statue that you want to call it out here. Reptile statue. I don't know. A lot of you are going to correct me with the lore, but you guys know I'm not a big lore guy. If you want World of Warcraft lore and theories, go watch Jedi Warlock. He is awesome. You know that he's been a good YouTube friend of mine. But anyways, guys, yeah, we're back in the Throne of Thunder, and I'm going to show you how I broke out of the map right now. All right, now coming into the Throne of Thunder raid, I'm going to be showing you how I break out of the map. Now, I think the original credit of who broke out of this, if I remember a long time ago, was True Hero, but I could be wrong. So Hero, maybe you can correct me in the comments, but I think it was Hero. But anyways, just remembering how to break out of this map, I'm going to switch over to my Vengeance because we're going to need the Infernal Strike. Now, once you come through the entrance of the raid, you're going to want to walk up the stairs and then immediately take a right. There's a corner over here that's not completely developed in a sense. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be jumping in the corner here. And then we're essentially just going to be jumping enough to get inside of or outside of the map here. So I just did it earlier. As you saw, I was outside. It may take you a few attempts. And then there you go. You just push yourself out with Infernal Strike and you're completely out of the map. So what we can do is we can get on one of our water mounts. We're going to take an old school water mount here. The Azure Water Strider that we actually get from fishing in Pandaria. For those of you that are big fishers in the game. And we're just going to head out. Yeah, we're just going to head this way. So we're going to head out west here. And we're going to go explore the Throne of, well, the Isle of Thunder, actually, because we're outside the Throne of Thunder, but we're going to go explore the Isle of Thunder map here. And let's go take a look and see what they keep. Now, something to note here, usually the raid is over here, right? And you have the whole raid and everything built. Something interesting, Blizzard has completely taken the raid off of the original location and have moved it out this way to build the raid upon itself. So it's not in like its original location in terms of like where it's actually located on the Isle of Thunder. So you can see the little bit of the map here, and then it gets cut off because there's, you know, the whole raid doesn't actually exist right here. This is just a, I don't know, a building of it, essentially. Smoke and mirrors, or just what it's supposed to look like, quote unquote, from the outside. Which we're going to get a better view of it when I was at the beginning of the video. I was on top of the skull up there, and we're going to head our way up there here in a minute. But let's go take a look at the Alliance side of things over here on the island. Now we do get the Mage Tower that is here, and the Mage Tower is in full effect. And you can see every like detail and everything is still in here. Now, I'm actually going to be switching back to Havoc because we're going to need it in terms of exploring. And if I fall or something... Oh, what am I doing? Making myself big. If I fall or something, I definitely want to catch myself with Fel Rush. But there you go. The whole camp is here on the side over here from the Kintor. Now, I don't remember... you know, I don't play Horde. So, I mean, I don't normally play Horde. I got a, you know, Blood Elf Demon Hunter. It's pretty high max level, but which I don't play on enough. I should start playing on more Horde to get of their scenarios and all, and their version of the story. But I think this is just the Alliance side, and then someone can correct me, over there is like a Horde version of it, right? So, or unless the Horde and the Alliance all come into here. I don't remember the exact part of everything, but I just did the scenario and I should know. But I mean, it doesn't matter. You guys can correct me on it. All right, something I wanted to point out here is there's this really weird off color like wave animation that happens inside the game. Watch this. And it hits the rocks over here. So it's like this dark black wave that comes up out of the water and then forms and just hits the rocks. So it's the waves that are pushing. Now, if we were to turn on our Stinky Bright potion, it wouldn't change anything. Everything's still dark in the wave and it still pushes up against the rocks here. But I don't know, I thought that was interesting to see. We can actually go inside of it too. But I don't know, I thought that was kind of weird. It's like an old school water here. So I don't know if that's like a old version of the water in classic, you know, WoW, for instance, because, you know, the water was updated a while back, I believe in Cataclysm, if I'm not mistaken. Blizzard had given us brand new water effects and water texture and all that, and so I think that's part of like the older version, or maybe that's just their version of a wave that's dark. But either way, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna move on. Back here we do have the whole pit going on with the bones and all that. You can see there is a cave entrance that we can't actually get inside. It's blocked off by rock. I'm sure we can get in there if we wanted to. There is a cave that completely gets cut off here, and you can see it kind of just clips in here just enough to show you. If you move your camera around, you can't actually see it. But I'm going to turn on a Stinky Bright potion because I want you guys to get a better look at what's outside the map here and to get a clearer view. Now, I know I overuse the Stinky Bright potions, but I love them because they clear up so much of what you're not usually able to see. So this is where I was in the opening of the video. We're going to head back up to the mountain here. And we're going to go take a look at the giant skull that is on top of here. We don't want to fall, so we're actually going to get off our mount. And there we go. We're just going to make our way over here. Now, you can actually get on top of this thing as well. If you use if we don't suck. There we go. And there we go. I actually killed myself to campfire to get out. So you can see my bone remains there. Kind of fitting for the whole scene here, huh? You know what? Screw you, game. You normally can get up here, so... Oh, okay, there we go. Whew, took me forever to do that. All right, this is what I wanted to show you guys. So at the beginning of the video, this is where we were standing, obviously. You can see the layout of the Isle of Thunder here. A lot of it's cut off in the back, and it doesn't extend out that way. But normally, the raid sits, the whole raid here, sits here, right? So when you're looking at the Isle of Thunder, you got the whole buildings here. Now what's interesting is Blizzard has essentially taken this all off and have moved it this way. I'm actually kind of surprised they kept the whole island out here, just because I don't think you can see the island from the raid, right? If I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to go through the raid again. But I thought this was a really awesome view. I love the view of the Isle of Thunder here. You can see that a lot of stuff has been deloaded. And we're going to go head out that direction right now and go take a look at what's over there. So let's go do it. So let's go fly down here into the swamp, quote unquote. And we're going to speed up our drop here because we're demon hunters and we can catch ourselves. And I think I still have my turkey. Yeah, okay, still have my turkey. We're going to get back on our turkey here. I'm loving this turkey mount, man. And when you... One thing I love is when you demount, or like you deload it, or dismount, I should say, you get like this awesome like gobble effect where it's like, oh, I don't know, it's kind of fun. See, there you go. It makes like the gobble noises. One thing I wanted to see is is the cave loaded in over here that you normally go into for the sewer to the shortcut to the raid itself. And you can see that the cave is actually filled in. Now, one of my questions is the cave still behind here? It's just filled. And we can find out easily with our rogue stone. So we're going to put a rogue stone up here against the wall. And we're going to see, yes, it is. So the cave is still there. It's just filled in. And a lot of times Blizzard does this to save on resources. So you don't actually have to load in the caves or anything, from what I understand. And there's actually the shortcut tunnel that you would take to get to the Throne of Thunder raid, excuse me. So that is still there. So that's awesome to see. I'm actually gonna take a screenshot of that it's filled in. I like to take screenshots for those of you that are new to the channel. I like to do my Pokemon Snap Out of Bounds collection. So I have like a huge folder of screenshots that I took over the years, and it's really fun to keep for different thumbnails and stuff in videos. So coming up here, this is normally where the Throne of Thunder would live in the uninstant version of the raid itself here, but you can see that it is completely cut off, and the map has been reshaped and reformed and basically set on a whole different side. So you can see the whole raid is over there and we are over here, and it is gone. So you don't normally get to see stuff like this, but I thought it was really neat to take a look at. Now you actually can't go back here. Well, you can, but you got to use pillows and the different techniques, because there is invisible walls on the uninstant version of it. So if you try to get back here in the Isle of Thunder, there's walls that will stop you, but you can get by them with, you know, the pillows, and it's really easy. Can we do a couple of flips and make it? Yes, we can, because we're awesome. And we got over to the platform over here. Now, one thing that's really interesting is they have kept the ships as well. So all the ships are living outside the map. So basically everything that's normally on the map is here. Oh, okay, I'm glad that's solid. A lot of times out of bounds stuff can be very deceiving in terms of sometimes you'll just like fall through textures. Oh, check that out. So a little piece of the map is here on the other side, and there's like this armory looking, well, not armory, but little armory, right, of just hanging out here. I love that. That's fun. It's really fun. I love the spears and everything going on, and you just got this little piece of land that's just living here. Now if we were to jump in the water, which we could do, you can see that we are completely underneath the wall here, which is awesome. So that is basically the Isle side of the Throne of Thunder. So they keep a ton out here. As you guys can see, there's a lot loaded back here. Now, one thing that you're probably really interested in, as much as I am, is to go see the actual raid itself from the outside. So let's go take a look at that right now. All right, guys, we are back. And just a heads up, the side over here in the raid, this is all death. So if you walk into there, you will die. I haven't been in here in a while, to be honest with you. So we might die some more coming into this raid as well. I don't know where all the death walls and DC walls and all that is. So just hear me out. I might die a few times, and we'll just, you know, have to cut the video and skip to the more interesting things. But we're going to head out way far left here, and we're going to hang off to the left side, as over here you don't really have a lot of death walls from what I've seen. So we're just going to make our way out this way. Now, one of the interesting things about this raid I had mentioned before is they do keep the part, quote unquote, the Isle of Thunder over here. And the part where you're trying to walk through the, you remember like in the beginning of the raid, there's that guy that's like the storm caller, and he's putting all the wind on the ground, and you got to go basically kill him in order to stop the wind from flowing. That all happens right over here, and I don't believe that's actually connected to the main raid. You take like a, or maybe it is, I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go run the raid after this just to get a better idea. But let's go take a look and see what they keep. Now I was able to find oh, check that out. Check it out. Oh, that's cool. Underwater here we have some structures that have been underwater. Check that out. That's cool. I guess they got lost in the cut of the island here. Now, I don't know what Blizzard and like what they were trying to do in terms of what to keep and what not to keep, because it seems like they keep some stuff out of the map, but they don't keep everything outside the map. And so they obviously kept some of the Isle of Thunder outside the map, but they didn't keep everything outside the map. So, you know, why they chose to keep certain things, I guess because of the player's view, maybe, as you're going in the raid itself. There's certain views that you can see and you shouldn't see. All right, we're gonna go walk. Now, I'm gonna go test this out. Hopefully we don't die, as I want to go show you guys some cool pink and white cubes that are underneath the map here. So far we're okay. Where are we in the map? Okay, so this is where we're currently at. We're under the Council of Elders area. There's where Horadon is, over there in that direction, and his arena. But I want to show you guys the actual cubes on the map. So here goes the giant cubes that are under the Pandaria raid in the Throne of Thunder, which I thought was kind of neat to check out. We're gonna go check them out a little closer, but let's get a screenshot of that. So let's take a screen capture of that. And it's really cool to see this thing up close. Normally we don't get up close with a lot of these cubes and stuff, but I don't know if they're solid or we can walk. Okay, so we can just directly walk through them. So we're inside the cube right now, but I thought this was really neat to show off and to show you guys the cubes from the outside. This thing is huge. That's a cool screenshot, actually. Might use that for a thumbnail, actually. I try to take awesome screenshots when I'm playing, just because I want to keep it for later, just to have for my screenshot Pokemon Snap collection, for those of you that played Pokemon Snap growing up. And then I wanted to keep them just for, you know, to have for the future as well. Now this is really cool. So okay, I need to see some rogue stones here. So I want to see inside the map. So this is the inside part. Oh, and that's going down to the cavern, because if you remember, you have different bosses that are actually below as well, and you make your way underneath into the last boss room, which is over here. And I think that's what a lot of people actually want to see, is the last boss room. So I'm going to try to make my way over there as much as I can. Well, let's go into here and let's go see this room from below. But there goes the two. There's one more hiding over here, as we saw, and there's another cube here with the pink and white squares going on. Let's go check out this map from below here. Now we might die just because of where we're at. Okay, doesn't look like we are. Well, that's cool. Unfortunately, I can't really see, unless we were to put a rogue stone under the map here. Oh, there we go. So there goes Tortos. So that's his little area right below here. And then there goes like the cavern area that you go and fight him, where you remember, I think the bridge collapses and you fall down inside the arena, and then you end up fighting him. So that's pretty cool that they built that all underneath. And then I remember you have to go ring like the 3 bells or whatever for one of the bosses. It's just, sorry, I haven't done this raid in a long time. It's so funny. I should have ran it before I actually did a video on it. Probably would have made a lot more sense. So here goes the final boss room. And you can kind of get a good view of that from the outside here. And that's where we want to head to. So we're going to see if we can do some maneuvering here, and without actually dying. Oh, I forgot. We're on, excuse me, let me switch over to Havoc. I forgot we don't have our Fell Rush, which I don't think we actually need. Well, actually we do. Are we on the right bar? That works. Do we have... No, we also need Vengeful Retreat, so we're going to stay on this one. Oh, we're hitting a wall. Okay, so we are hitting an invisible wall here. Can we get over to the other side? There has to be a way where we can get over there, I would think. Let's see if we can go in this way, over this way, without hitting the wall. There we go. Okay, now it's allowing us. So this is some sort of wall right here that we're hitting. Obviously going into the raid. I gotta figure out how I can get above this. I don't know. This is gonna be interesting maneuvering on my part. Well, we have faced different stuff before. Oh, now we're inside the cavern. So if we look below, we're actually in Tortoise is arena. That would be really cool to actually go fly in to explore. But the problem is I don't want to clip back in the map because then we're kind of stuck. We're going through the raid, you know. Oh, we just fell. All right, well, I am a complete idiot. Gosh dang it. Well, I might as well save myself and go inside the raid now. Right? Dang it, man. Because that really sucks. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to be here. Okay, I'll be right back.